Oh, it's back to the Great Wander Archipelago, Grand Wander, Great Wander, either way. That time where I got really lost in 5 games because I decided to make questionable choices and give y'all the power to make them happen. Either way. For those who have not been keeping up... Hi Aspen, how you doing? Yeah, for those who have not been keeping up, this is a 5-game blind archipelago I've been doing for over a month now? So that's a thing. Hopefully you're doing well there, Aspen. I think I said that already, but I'm going to say it again anyway in case my brain just kind of deleted that. Hopefully work's going well. Yeah, this has taken a while. The only game out of the 5 that's done is Grim Dawn, because I set that to only be Act 1 of Grim Dawn, which was not very difficult. The other games in this set are Spyro 3, as you can see here in front of y'all right now, Crystal Project, Bomberman Hero, and Kirby 64. Now, theoretically, Kirby 64 would be done, but unfortunately, the settings got a little screwbally, and I need more crystal shards before I can finish the game. So that's going to take a little bit. Thankfully, we know where some of the crystal shards are. That's part of what we're going to be doing here today. Archipelagos are so fun, but they are very difficult, especially when you make the decision to do 5 games you've never beaten before, like I did, and make it a sub-goal, because life choices happen. Been a lot of fun figuring these out bit by bit, though. Both of those are very safe and solid choices for them, honestly. They both archipelago very well. The early ads are happening, so I'm going to go ahead and move us to where I need to be for the purposes of what we're going to be doing first. Is I had a realization when I was looking back over the logs and double-checking information here for Spyro, in particular, because I was realizing we were kind of stuck. And it's because there's something back here in the first area that I didn't do. Yeah, because you do actually have to do the sparks checks, is the problem. Now, I don't actually think I have to do the stages themselves. It's because I have gem checks active that mean I have to do the sparks levels. At least this one. Because when I was hinting around for things, as it turns out, the level we're missing is in here. So that's a whole thing. Now, I'm not going to actually start the level until the ads are done, because the starting ads are currently running. But I'm getting long, drawn-out discussion about that out of the way ahead of time. And I did, as you can see by the tracker, grab a couple things quickly, because they weren't going to be interesting to go fetch over in Crystal Project, and I didn't want to hop back and forth. Notably, if I scroll this up, you'll notice Haunted Tomb was unlocked by a chest out in Land's End. Haunted Tomb being one of the levels where we're going to be going. I basically was checking out where the remaining levels I needed. It's just the text down there in the bottom right corner. It's not super clear, but it is there. It's not like a item tracker that you would normally see. It's just the text box from Archipelago down there. And if I scroll it, you'll see me scroll it, so purple text is important things, is the short version there. You can even see my cursor pointing at things like, see, this is Haunted Tomb. This is what I needed. This way, when people are watching, they can see all the items being picked up. I call them out verbally anyway, because I keep an eye on the same tracker, but it's handy for people who are listening to be able to know what's getting collected. This way everybody's on the same page, ideally. And now that the starting ads are done, let's go ahead and go suffer in Crawdad Farm. to go get what I need. I've been told that these Sparks levels are terrible, so I'm looking forward to how badly this goes. Thankfully, this is Sparks tutorial level, so this shouldn't be too bad. Circle button to shoot things. Yeah, because these are vertical shooter segments, essentially. Or, more accurately, like twin-stick shooter segments for Sparks here. Okay, he can charge... Ah, he has to make contact with these. That's probably where part of the problem is going to start coming in. Is having to actually make physical contact with some of these guys. Okay, at least you do have strafing. So that's good. Oh, that's the problem with it, though. It doesn't actually strafe you when you press the buttons. You have to hold the button and then your normal directional controls strafe. That's not as good. That should honestly just do the thing, not being a... There's no reason to have both of them be the toggles that way. Yeah, butterflies are health, that makes sense. You can get power-ups that way. Including just absolute destruction. You love to see it. Ah. So getting touched at all in that segment is a problem. Understood. There must not be very many gems in here, because it was a 25% gem check to get the thing, but we... Oh, okay. The tutorial is separate from the stage, that's why. Okay, now there's gems. Okay. Got concerned for a moment there. Because I never did these when I played this game when I was younger that I can recall. So, I have very little idea what I'm getting into with these, other than not good, from all I've been told, as mentioned before. Playing essentially Gauntlet as a Dragonfly. Considering there are definitely spawners that I could see. That description ended up being more accurate than I thought. There we go. There's Fireworks Factory. That's the entire reason we were here. I may as well finish it just in case there is a check attached to this, I suppose. Is the downside for those wondering to not knowing the games that you're setting up in Archipelago that well is you could very easily end up with a scenario like we have here where you don't actually know how to set your settings properly either. So you end up with some wonky settings like we have for this and for the other games, where it doesn't fully make sense. They tell you a decent amount in one as long as you talk to people. Yep. That's old RPGs. That's the way they're designed. This is why I keep getting mad at them the whole way. But how's it going, Natra, other than Final Fantasy 1 being Final Fantasy 1? I'm just gonna disregard these guys at this point. They don't really matter. Here was the red door, we have the red key. Okay, your charge attack does still make you take damage. Understood. Game design. Understandable. Hopefully, work will go smoothly at the very least. And then you'll be able to do art on the side, or at least get through work and still be able to do art. Either one. One of the two will happen, hopefully. No, he's gonna get me. He's gonna get me. He's gonna eat me. I don't think I even need to deal with him, honestly. We're just gonna ignore him. Ah, this gives me rockets. Does this break the barrier? Is that... No? I mean, that's still not bad. To have gotten the line art done during a lunch break is fairly impressive if you think about it. Depending on the size of the line art, of course, and the detail. And we're dead. Okay, good. He's a checkpoint, so we're still right here. The key is a checkpoint, I should say, not he. You understood what I meant, probably. May actually, you know, clear the way instead of messing about. So these shielded spawners are getting kind of old. And by kind of old, I mean very old, very fast. One of the many issues with these segments, I presume. There we go, blue key. I already have the gem check for this stage, so I don't need to worry about grabbing all the gems anymore. We can just move right along. And I suppose I should finish the explanation of Archipelago that I started and then got sidetracked from before, for those who've never seen Archipelago before. Every game in it is randomized. I already told you all the list, so I'm not going to rattle back through that again right now. But everything that generates an item or an unlock in any of them can be an item for any of the others. So, for example, the gem check that just got us our stage here actually could have been an item for one of the other games as well, and is more often than not the case. We just ended up having it be a thing for Spyro's own game this time. Which is how we ended up getting trapped for a while, because I assumed that the level I was looking for was in one of the other games, usually Crystal Project, because Crystal Project has the most checks in it. Turned out it was here, and I completely forgot about the Sparks levels because of the fact that I did not randomize them, as far as I was aware. So that's a whole thing. Apparently no, they are also randomized, so I screwed up the settings there then. That's doubly important that I checked that then. But that is also your perfect example, those looking at the tracker there. We got some Nan's Cocoa for Crystal Project. That is just a healing item. Nothing important, but it's proof of the concept there. It's fine. The important part out of that was getting the level unlock, which will now open the boss fight of the world we were stuck on here for Spyro, and all of those stages in the next world. And I forgot about this. We actually get a bonus effect for Sparks from doing these, so now Sparks reaches out further to pick up gems for us. Not super relevant, but slightly convenient. Anyway, back to Evening Lake, so we can go to the fireworks factory, and then the boss, and then go from there. Progress. Now the fun question of, where in here was Fireworks Factory? Because we saw it multiple times. Oh, you know, it's probably where these sparklers are, isn't it? That would make sense. Yep, there we go. How those sparklers work underwater? Good question. Don't ask questions like that or you're going to be disappointed by the answers. Ta-da! Now I want to make sure to grab gems here, because 25% of gems matter again. Stole the rocket plans. Okay. Some sparklers do. I don't believe all sparklers do. Yeah. It is rather tricky to light things underwater. Oh right, these are infinitely spawning ninjas. So best not to worry about them too much. There's a portal up there to either extra character level, or if it's anything like that one stage, it'll be a random character swap that for some reason exists. Yes, I'm still mad about that. No, I'm never gonna stop being mad about that. In what way do you think I've scammed you, Lark? Because I could scam you harder. If you give me that title, I will find a way to scam you harder. That is how that works. Do not challenge me. Absolutely not. That is an entirely different thing. Me all the gems. I technically need to kill these enemies to get their gems too, or at least the big guy. I'm doing fine, Lark. How about you? I'm assuming life is continuing to be life, but hopefully, you know, in positive ways some of the time. Phoenix juice for Crystal Project from Noodles. Exactly. Snag those. That is not where that rocket was supposed to go. But that is where Spyro was expected to go, straight to the afterlife. Now, my hope is that by getting through the boss coming up and being able to actually go to the third zone, since we have enough eggs, I'm hoping that the game will just let me go to the sorceress and beat Spyro. I don't think that'll work, but that would be the ideal scenario, is I just can then finish the game. That's fair, but at least you got the vacation to look forward to now, so there's that. I know that also simultaneously makes the day-to-day worse, but, you know. Take what you can get and make it work as best you can, type deal. Give me the Firefly health, thank you. Alright, kid, what's your deal? You know, I wish I could free my mind like that and just, you know, ignore the laws of physics. It'd be very helpful. That number's only going to continue to climb as long as you keep that streak alive there, Nitro. Honestly, it's becoming a channel meme that you have the ridiculous streak of all time going on. Yes, explode. This box says ninja. But there was not, in fact, a ninja in it. False advertising. Just a box of lies. Which, don't get me wrong, I'd rather have the gems than there be a ninja in there, but I don't like being lied to. I don't appreciate that. I lie to myself enough. Oh yeah, I think I need to use the rockets to break the jars. destroy rocket? Okay. I can destroy things real good. More proof of what era this game was made in. Yeah, exactly, it was 2 different lies. Oh, you know, I do have another reason to stop that rocket now, because it's got an egg attached to it. But, looks like we were a little late on that idea. Somehow, the egg survived all of that. It's Fireworks Factory completed technically, but we still have other eggs to get here, and we got a shield for Crystal Project. Now, the important reason for the complete stage of that is now the kid we were just working with has gone off to handle things in the main area, which is what we needed to gain access to the boss of this section. So we now have everything we need to go to the next area after we defeat the boss. But let's get the rest of the checks here before we leave. So well, aside from the Agent 9 one you just saw me be denied access to because we need to go do Agent 9's main stage first. We do have Agent 9 unlocked, thanks to Archipelago. We conveniently got Agent 9 very early compared to when we could find him. In terms of normal gameplay, but that only helps you so much when you can't get to his stages. Using a cell phone to call creatures. I feel like I know what game that is. I feel like I should know that one. There's our 25% gems. That's not Cassette Beast, right? Cassette Beast is a different one. Similar but different. I feel like I know the one you're talking about here. What platform is that game on? Superfly and Superflame. Okay. Just gotta find them. The cell phone part's gonna be the thing that actually makes it hard for me to remember. It's a Game Boy game. Oh wait, isn't that the... Isn't that like the kid at SMT game? I forget the name of it. It's like Demon Kids or something like that. Well, Game Boy and Game Boy Color are kind of lumped together well enough. I wouldn't really count that against you, description-wise. But I'm gonna guess that I'm not on the right track with that thought, then, if you did not say yes to it being that game. I thought they did use a cell phone for that one as their version of the PC. Or do I have my... No, because the one that was on Game Boy Color was the one we didn't get in English, so no, that can't be that one. But you know, specifying English-only games would have been a wise course on my part, or for this redeem in hindsight. Yep, that's what I was afraid of, is that it was a non-English game. Which I am aware of Telefang, but I didn't know that they used a cell phone for it because I've never played it, and I know basically nothing about it. Why am I gonna know Japanese-only games, Natra? This is why I should have specified that, but based on the fact that it wasn't the one I was thinking of, the only other ones that existed on that platform that were that style of game were all Japanese games. So it's like, okay, this has to be a Japanese game then. fan translations do exist for the Telefang games at this point, but they are Japanese only ordinarily. Yeah, exactly. Which doesn't count. Bootlegs do not count. Because again, how is the average person going to know about that concept either unless they ran into it, you know? I'll make some adjustments to the redeem in the future. I'm not gonna account that one against you because, you know, we didn't have that use case come up until now to be a problem. Because I would presume you bought it at some random market somewhere, as is how you usually end up with bootleg things like that. I have definitely seen my share of bootlegs from things like flea markets and such. I just never bought any of them because I could tell they weren't quite right. I mean, this redeem has never been about winning and losing, but if you really want to track it, by all means. Like, if we were tracking wins and losses, my record would not look that good. Like, I've pulled some surprises on people before, but I have definitely missed a good, like, 40%, I would say, of them. Because people put... The funny thing with it is people really go out of their way to dig deep for these, which is what it's for to a certain degree, and it makes me happy that people actually go really fishing. Even if I don't end up right, people learn something. And that's the point. Again, if you want to consider that a win, yes. You see, the rules would have been a lot clearer, but I have text box limitations, which is a aggravation at all times. There's only so much room in those text boxes. Oh, the excitement of chasing a artificial noodle dragon around. Get back here. Yeah, if you want to just keep burning points on Identify, you know, have at it. Though I do think it is currently still limited to only a couple per stream, and I think only one per person, so you'd have to wait till next time to do another one. Because we've had people spamming it in the past, because they have nothing better to do with their time, apparently. And I try to keep these things open and available for multiple people to use instead of just one person deciding to make it their own personal toy for the day. And I'm saying this not so that the person responsible can hear, because they've been banned already anyway, but as a note for everyone involved. That if there is something on a stream, maybe don't just sit there and keep hitting the button, unless that is something they specifically encourage people doing. Just a thought. Look, I'm not made out of infinite ideas. I already have more things to draw than I know what to do with. I can't exactly be coming up with 1,000 redeems so you have a way to burn your points either.
Why not simply destroy them?
I mean, you're right. I would simply destroy these dragons if I could catch them. Which I still have more audio files to add to that pool too, but I keep forgetting because it's not really my top priority. And And I did consider a channel point art thing or something, but I would never get anything else done with the amount of points people have if I offered something like that. Because it would basically be a case of everyone that's been watching for any serious amount of time, unless I made it absurdly expensive, would be able to afford it and would more than likely redeem it. So it would just make me cease all functionality as an artist for like a month. So that's just not a thing I can do practically. And considering I'm already struggling enough to try to make enough things for people to be interested to commission me, it's a whole thing. Good luck with work, Natra. I may still, in fact, be chasing this dragon around the damn field by the time you come back. It is being very disagreeable now that it's smaller. Yeah, the thing is, I feel bad asking that many points for it, either. And therein lies the problem, is you get stuck in a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario with that, after a point. It's like, okay, I've priced out, like, anybody that joins for, like, the first almost half a year for if it's 100,000 points. So there's almost not a reason to have it if it's that expensive. I was still holding X, so I just immediately jumped to my death there. This is also why I recommend to people that they get the majority of what they think they're going to want for redeems set up when they first get started, so that they don't end up with a bad point curve to fight. Like, obviously not when you first start for everything, but get a chunk of them set up early, so that they can be set to reasonable prices. Yeah, exactly. That's why I've never done that, because of the fact that invariably they were going to squash that. Not to mention, it always felt kind of weird anyway, because, like, okay, you're now doing this weird currency conversion just to commission somebody, essentially. But the whole situation with that can very easily get really weird, and I didn't trust it as a concept to begin with. Like, I felt weird enough about the idea of making the art giveaway a sub-goal, like I did for last month, which didn't end up landing, but, you know. I honestly feel less bad that it didn't land, in a weird way. Because I feel a little bit weird about that as a concept because of the fact that it essentially boils down to people are essentially buying someone else a commission at that point, and they have no control over who ends up getting that. So it can end up feeling a little bit bad theoretically there. Like, there's just all kinds of layers of overthinking available in a lot of these things, is the short version. And if there's anything I'm good at, it's overthinking things. The goal was for that guy to run up and blow up all three of them, but at least he got one. Which, on the note of sub-goals, I should mention this. I have every intention of trying to start to encourage monthly sub goals. They're gonna be small goals, so people don't have to go crazy. My big issue is gonna be figuring out what to make those goals be at all. And there's a split purpose to the institution of these monthly goals. One being the obvious purpose of, you know, helping keep the lights on around here and making sure that this is actually financially viable at all, which is the less fun side of it. The more fun side of it being, A, it'll encourage me to do more things that I might otherwise have talked myself out of doing, is it's a way for y'all to guaranteed show interest in something, including some potentially more esoteric ideas. And it's a way just to do more things with the channel itself in general in some ways, if that makes sense. Because the funding from that would more often than not get turned around into things that would be beneficial for y'all anyway. So realistically, it's a win-win. It just, again, I have that mindset of I feel bad about encouraging y'all to spend money, regardless of what the money ends up turning into. So that's just part of the thing I have to fight myself about. Bottom line into this line of thought is, if people have ideas of sub-goals they would want to see, I am open to listening. Just bear in mind that if it's something absurd that I would absolutely hate doing, you will be denied. Like, if it's something that I'll get annoyed doing, I will probably go along with the idea because people seem to enjoy watching me get annoyed, so we will make that happen to a certain degree. But that is the reason for the within reason statement there. Now, I don't think all three of the missing eggs here are in Agent 9's area. Ninja HQ is probably Agent 9's segment. Problem ends up being, I don't know where else to go in this stage. I feel like I've been everywhere, you know? Which is obviously not true because I haven't gotten everything. I don't need to worry about looking up too much, at least within rooms, because Spyro can't go up very well. He's very good at across, but he's not really good at up. Now, there is a reality where there was something in, like, the floor somewhere, though, that I missed. That's a possibility. And it may be that there's something involving using the rockets to do as well, because there's a few rockets scattered around. So for sake of example, let's fly over to this bit over here. Actually, no. No. Over here is pointless because this is where an egg was. They wouldn't have put a secret passage right behind an egg. Or at least they're not likely to have done that. They've been pretty good about scattering things around. Let's see if this is actually like something. No. Okay. The other one I knew dead-ended out because it would have spat you out here. So the other one was the only one that had the potential to lead somewhere. This wall is different, though, so maybe I blast that one. So let's go get another rocket. Because the rockets do thankfully respawn, which is the other clue to me that they're important. Otherwise, they'd be one use and gone. If they were, like, intended only for fighting the armored enemies. Unless I have to hit that dead center, that didn't work. I do think that that is something, though, because it's the only one that's different. All the rest of them look like this. So why is that one different? There may be a switch or something somewhere that opens that. But I'm gonna go grab another rocket just in case I need to be more accurate with my shot. So I could see a case for that being true. Okay, no, that unless they want it literally dead centered, that's not blastable then. Okay, that solves that mystery. This cannon only fired me across. Despite the fact that it points over there, it rotates over this way and sends me over here. We've been circled around a lot of these things. Ordinarily, I would go for that over there immediately, but we know that's where we started. So that's not a thing. I don't think they'd expect me to, like, get up on top of the buildings, right? The only one that I would think would be possible to get on top of might be that one. One that is right between Spyro's horns right now. There's also the room the rocket came up from, but I'm pretty sure we were down there already. I think that's where the Agent 9 sign was. That's where the dragon fight was, over there. See, these have the fancy walls too, so maybe the fancy walls are just meaningless. This is where we dropped down to. We already went over here. Oh, wait. Hang on. See, I knew I was missing something. Oh, you mean up there behind me? Okay. Oh, this will be easily done. Coming through. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. Ah. That would have been even easier done if I wasn't down to one hit. Anyway, going back through. Now that an incidental hit won't immediately kill me. Just gotta watch out for those shooters. You don't matter, coming through. She never said I had to defeat them, she just said I had to get past them. It's a dead-end room. Coming through. Got it. Oh, this was Ninja HQ. Okay. Up to Sam. Maybe the other two eggs are both Agent 9, then. Unless there's a second egg attached to this room. Yeah, I already got that one, kid. Thanks. Actually, there is pretty often 2 eggs in the side areas, so yeah, we probably have to just wait till we go do Agent 9's main world to come back for that, then. You're doomed! I technically could go do Spark's other world, but I'm not gonna worry about doing that right now. Unless we end up hitting a dead end. Now, considering I have no lives, there's a very real possibility that I will get a game over again. And that's not really that big a deal, honestly. Like, you would think I'd be more concerned about that, but since it just doesn't matter, I have no reason to be compelled by that. Anyway, it's rocket time. As everyone has gathered around to help us use this rocket. To go to Midnight Mountain. But of course, we're gonna have a fight along the way.
That's it. I've had enough. I'm going to create a monster to end all monsters. And I'm going to send it out to destroy all the dragons, even the little hatchlings. Yes, yes! It will smash them and crush them and grind them and tear them. Oh, yes! Smear them and smoosh them and crack them and crease them!
But, won't that kill them?
That doesn't matter, as long as I can still collect their wings.
What? All this time you've only wanted them for their wings?
Of course, you ignorant girl. I need them for a spell, so I can live forever.
Wait a second. A spell?
What did you think I was going to do with all those dragons? Open a zoo?
You said just keeping them in our world was enough. You never said you had to kill them.
I don't have to kill them. It just stops them from wriggling so much.
You're terrible. I can't believe I ever listened to you.
Stupid, insolent brat. I'll take care of her as soon as I finish off that dragon. Now, where was I? Ah, yes!
Ah, a volunteer, of course. So, you know, Sorceress is great, isn't she? Just such a wonderful person. Perfect to work for. Absolutely no problems. Hey, Bentley. So you're just gonna give me projectiles, rather than assisting me by, I don't know, breaking that thing's wings with your giant ice club or anything. Bentley, why you gotta choose now to be a pacifist? Come on, lower your barrier. There you go. This is just a shooting segment, I guess. Oh, I'm dead. I, for some reason, thought those weren't gonna land directly on me. I was like, ah, I'll be safe just standing here, it'll be okay, and then suddenly everything exploded. So we've got a full set of lives again. I think we might end up having to sit through the cutscene again. Why am I back here? Oh, I guess it puts you back at the start of the world. I got confused for a second because I thought we were back at the start of the first world, since they look kind of similar from the very beginning screen. We... Entering Scorch's pit. Alright. Let's try that again, Bentley. Pretend that never happened. What's green one? I only get one of those? Guess I just kept getting lucky grabbing the red ones. And, you know, this I presume is why he's called Scorch, is because of the whole scorched earth thing that he's doing right now. Ow! Ah, the green ones are homing. That's the advantage of those. Okay. Oh god, explosive boys. So I guess he just can summon an array of things then. And the rapid fire is for when he's doing his summoning phases. Which it's interesting that we had summoning first last time, so I guess they're not in a guaranteed order then. Now he's gonna go back to his bombing phase. Which he's interruptible as long as you can do it that way. That rocket's on his tail, but it didn't make it. Bombed. That rocket missed. It was right behind him and it missed. Oh, these things. I'm dead. All because I got sent flying so far by the stupid charger. I got robbed at the end there so badly. I should have just been firing those green rockets like just right off the rip as soon as I picked them up. Since they're homing, it's not like I needed to aim them that much. Spyro, it would help me so much if you would turn when you are in aiming mode. Oh, little guy. Be very helpful. It's so easy to get caught at just like the wrong angle and then not be able to fire at all. Why did that third one take forever to hatch? Because we obviously knew he was there. Yeah, I straight up just don't even need to aim those. Okay. Which is probably why they're for this segment the way they are, is so that you don't have to worry about getting bombed while aiming. Makes nothing but sense. Of course, that one just didn't aim for some reason. Oh, I think this thing's guaranteed to send me out of the arena with how far that sent me. Get out of here, you. Thanks, game. That's clearly where I wanted that to go. Got him. Yeah, that was not a hard fight other than just getting sent to space by the return of a previous boss, basically. And we just got an actual egg for that. Okay. More importantly, though, we got access to the next segment, which is what we needed. Meanwhile, other things are happening.
Hi, Bianca. Did you bring any more food? I'm starving.
There's no time for that, Hunter. We have to stop the sorceress. She's gonna kill all the dragon hatchlings.
Wait a minute. Why should I trust you? This could be another trap.
You're in a cage, you furry numbskull. How can I trap you by letting you out?
I don't know. You sorceress types can be sneaky.
I never thought we were gonna hurt the dragons. Come on, we don't have time for this.
So anyway, those two are going to work together now, while we continue to do the lion's share of the work. Good news is, we're almost done here. Yeah, you need enough eggs in order to access the sorceress's lair, which I'm pretty sure I have my YAML set to 100 eggs, which I have. And that's why I was theorizing that I'd be able to just go do the sorceress fight pretty much right off the rip when we got here. Oh, an extra life from this one. That's actually good, because we're gonna need multiple lives probably for the sorceress fight. What a strange, strange world we find ourselves in here. Laser. Blasting them in the hopes of getting another extra life. No such luck, though, it seems. That's Agent 9's home right there. Worry about that in a second. Grabbing the gems to get the 25% gem check. In case I'm wrong about being able to just do the sorceress fight and be done, we'll go ahead and do Agent 9's special stage at the very least, so you get to see his mechanics. He's having a whole thing about that. I'm just getting real hot in here. He's gonna go blast some Rhinox. Got it, boss. His Agent 9's whole shtick is the laser blaster and being able to aim pretty well with it. There's a... Nope, there isn't a barrier there. There was an actual Rhinoc behind that one. I don't remember playing too much with Agent 9, but I remember enjoying it when I did. Oh yeah, his lasers also bounce. Stop the panic. With the panic button. There we go, panic button shot. I'm betting they expected you to either run over there and try to directly shoot it or do any number of other things other than just aim and fire at the button. There we go, got that button too. Nice and easy. They're hiding behind the screen. Oh no. Yeah, this is where they teach you about sniper mode, so they expected you to do it the other way. This is just a shooting gallery. Another one down. Easy. Just continuing to make progress. Obviously, continuing to collect gems along the way is going to be necessary because we don't know if we can finish the game yet or not. And every stage has gems. Nom, nom, nom. Birds. Zoom in. Okay. You got it, boss. Totally need to zoom in, yep. Don't have nice, easy precision in regular zoom at all or anything, nope. It's clearly so important to zoom in. There we go. Egg. Which was just a potion for Crystal Project. Nothing remarkable. There's a reminder about the list of games and what Archipelago is in case you missed it. You shouldn't have said hopefully there's no birds in there. That pretty much guaranteed there were birds in there. Also, ads are coming up, so probably after I do this stage, we'll probably pause for ads. One of them finally started heading in my direction right at the end there. It probably smells like fried chicken. And honestly, I could go for some of that. I ate not that long ago, but I could eat more. I could always eat more. Be happy to eat more. It is a bit warm for anything hot, but either way. Ah, bombs. Bombs seem like a good idea. Bombs are always a good idea. There's the armored boys. But the ads are running, so I'm not going to pause because that destroys the audio. I'm gonna just kind of hang out here while the ads run. I'll be back in just a moment. Get up, stretch, do whatever y'all need to do while I'm away. Alright, back to it. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. You've missed nothing. I've been just kind of waiting. Now it's time to bomb the enemies. Ayah! They're a little stiff to throw, but that's to be expected. PS1 game without sticks and all that. I need the health. There we go. Still need to grab these gems too. They're important. I do appreciate the sound cue our bombs give us when there's a target. There we go. Tincture pouch for Crystal Project. Nothing major, but not bad. Tinctures are kind of left behind at this point, I think, but I'll take what I can get. That is not where I expected him to be able to... Yep, that's what I figured. Hit the ceiling and died. Now I gotta do this whole bit again. On the bright side, we've learned that he can throw way further than I think he can. Not far enough, but further. Don't mind me, I'm range finding. Oh, you can shoot that far, huh? Okay. He couldn't, though. He only died once he was on screen. So that's interesting coding. He clearly would have exploded a long time ago. And yet he only died once he was on screen. Interesting. So until I saw him explode, he was just forever locked in a state of could be dead, could not be dead. Why did it... Game. Why? So we need to have a talk about what just happened there. For those wondering why I was spinning around to the left, I was pressing to the right. But because I think it's another case of because technically I was facing just far enough towards the camera that it treated right as in rotating the way he ended up rotating instead of the way I wanted him to rotate. Of course, if I had better camera controls, it would also be much easier to throw these grenades where I wanted to as well, but that's another problem. Is this doorway is making it so much more difficult than it needs to be to get this grenade where I want it to, because it keeps making my camera move. Just so I could try to squeeze around the doorway enough. Because I don't really want to stand there and try to aim a grenade throw when I'm that close to these guys, because it's stiff enough that it takes some doing to aim it. So I'm very likely to just get shot by the time I manage to get it lined up. But since he only throws specifically in front of himself and a specific distance, it's a little bit of a problem. There we go. Egg. Lost Penguin for Crystal Project. That might actually matter. That may actually matter, because that might be enough of the penguins to get that check. So I think that might be the last check of the penguin thing. We're still missing one egg here. Snipe the boats. Let's look for some boats. I'm good at sniping. I don't need these gems because I already got the thing, but, you know, it was there. Over there, I believe, is where we came in from?
No.
Don't you deny me, old man.
No.
Just because you're saying no doesn't mean anything's gonna change. Oh, I'm probably meant to throw a grenade over the barrier. Yeah. There we go. And this is where the boats will be then. Oh, look at them having a great time. Let's ruin that. What? That definitely should have hit him in the shoulder, but I guess his shoulder isn't important enough. There we go. Ta-da! Egg. Poseidon Stone. That will be the Poseidon Shrine. Which I think we've been to already, so, that would have been great to have gotten earlier, which we could have gotten before we got to the Poseidon Shrine had I realized Crawdad Farms was the problem. Like 2 weeks ago. So in the logic of what this archipelago has been asking me to do, I do think that that stone would have mattered. Just based on how I've ended up playing it, it doesn't matter. It does give me an easier way to get to the top of the Poseidon Shrine, though. In case that has any utility left, which it might. I just can't guarantee whether it does or not. Health back. Grab these in the hopes of getting an extra life as well. Yeah, we're basically gonna stay here in Spyro 3 until I run out of checks or I finish the game, whichever one happens first. Which, considering we have a decent amount of the stages in this world, we should be able to make this happen. There's also an egg thief to chase right there. In fact, let's have a look. How many stages in here do I have? All but one. All but one of them is in hand, actually, so that's fantastic. I don't know which one's missing. Desert Ruins, Haunted Tomb, Dino Mines, Crystal Islands. Oh, it's the speedway for this section that's missing. Because I'm assuming there's a speedway here, too. So there's a speedway, I believe, for every world. Come here, you. Just keep cutting corners a bit by bit, and I'll catch him eventually, hopefully. He's getting ahead of me, even with me cutting corners, though. He's gaining ground. So either I'm losing too much speed by jumping, or there's a trick to this. Which I am bumping a corner on the bridge, so that might be a detriment. I think just by running, I'm just slowly catching up to him, actually. So if I'm just patient, I'll get him. See? There we go. That was easy. Just sour pop candy for Crystal Project. Just knocked him over and stole his candy. That's what he gets for nang me. Egg. Extra life. They really did just put a bunch of extra lives here. Or in the final world. It's like they know that I was gonna need them. So it's also like the end of the seed, so it makes sense that they would primarily be here at the end. Aha! We can unlock the portal. So yes, we can actually just finish Spyro 3 right now. And honestly, I'll grab this egg that's right here. Honestly, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Remember, the whole point was we were trying to clean up the archipelago before the next Dragon Pelago happened in 2 weeks. So I would like to have, you know, a little bit of a grace break period between archipelagos. Those ideally, so it's important to get it done this week. Which, I should note this, if by some miracle I manage to finish the entire thing today, now this is not a world that I anticipate existing. It's highly, highly unlikely that that is going to be a thing. I do know exactly what I'm going to end up doing tomorrow, and it's what I was going to do yesterday, which was do more Clockwork Ambrosia, to also move that along in terms of space in the schedule. Because obviously the sooner we get that cleaned up, the sooner we can move forward to the next to the Donathon incentives that are left, and we just get the whole process there finished up. Not that I'm rushing through those, but I am trying to, you know, move that whole process along sooner rather than later. Anyway, speaking of sooner rather than later, let's go beat the Sorceress. Finish Spyro 3. Assuming there isn't another unlock condition that I'm not aware of that I missed in my settings. Oh, there she is, just standing there. And Agent 9 is here to assist. Now, from what I recall, ordinarily this would actually not be the final battle. There would actually be one more battle after. In order to fully complete everything. Like, I believe you'd have an extra fight for 100%, I believe, is the thing. Just gotta remember how to fire these cannons better. Okay, I can aim this cannon. There we go. 1 hit. 2 hits. Other one. I am in rough shape now, though. Worse now, because she actually landed the melee attack on me. It's kind of funny how her attacks really aren't very dangerous, for the most part, aside from this big spread shot and her melee. Oh, that tank is awkward. I expected it to be faster than that, and it really wasn't. Thankfully, they are dropping health into this for you, so that's actually really nice. I thought I was gonna be just slow enough on that. The tank does seem like the better way to deal damage overall, though, because it shoots much more reasonably. Just the problem is it keeps getting broken. I can't help but think, though, that if Agent 9 just did this himself, it probably would be over by now. Because I could just direct laser fire or to the Sorceress and be done. But, you know, game design. Gotta have Spyro do it. Main character and all that. Okay, crashing into the sorceress is a problem. I kind of figured, but I was hoping to just kind of like put barrel to face and fire until problem solved. Yeah, we just kind of spin around the room until we have an opportunity, and we seem to be basically fine doing that. We got some kind of hovercraft now. Oh, it can actually, like, really fly. Okay. Bonk. Doesn't have an ammo limit either, which is interesting. Meow. I wonder if I could shoot my own health pickups down. I would have to angle it. It might be doable. It'd be kind of funny. Face the power of technology, witch. Gotcha. Egg. Consider I'm seeing Dino Mines checks. That is game complete. Yep, look at those eggs rise. All right. But as you can see, technically it's not the end of Spyro 3, but it is the end of what we need to do with Spyro 3. Because of what I set my goal to.
You've just defeated the sorceress, rescued the dragon eggs, and restored freedom to the lost dragon world. What do you plan to do next? Hmm? Perhaps a nice vacation in Dragon Shores? Hmm?
You're a real comedian sometimes, Bentley. You know, I still have to find the rest of the dragon eggs. Plus, Hunter seems to have disappeared again, so I should go make sure he's not in more trouble. You haven't seen him, have you?
Huh? Me? Oh, no. If I do happen to encounter him, however, I will most certainly inform you immediately.
That totally didn't sound slightly suspicious at all. There's a whole lot of things all triggering now because of us finishing, I think.
It's a funny thing, Spyro. I adjusted Avalar's portals to take me to the Dragon Worlds, but somehow I ended up here. Maybe my coordinate tables are out of date.
By 1,000 years.
That would explain why the book was so cheap.
So, now that you're done saving the world again, are you gonna visit me in Avalar?
Sure, Alora, but I still have to find the rest of the eggs and, well, Hunter's disappeared again.
Did you say Hunter? Well, hey, I can help. I just saw him sneak off with...
Agent 9, isn't that a Rhinoc over in those bushes?
Rhinoc! Ooh, let me at him. You want a piece of me, Rhinoc boy? Eat laser, punk! Come on now, no fair hiding.
I'm sure Hunter is in good hands. I mean, I'm sure he will turn up soon.
Promise you'll come visit Avalar soon, okay?
Totally not up to anything at all. Nope, nothing to worry about here.
Now, how many times have I told you not to tease that moose?
It was Billy's idea. Yeah.
Is that true, Billy? Hold that thought, Billy. Spyro, great to see ya.
Hi, Sheila. I've been looking for Hunter all day. Have you seen him?
Sorry, Spyro. Hunter made me promise not to tell you where they went.
Faye?
You didn't hear anything from me.
Oh,
You already gave away a lot with that.
No.
There it is.
Mwah.
That proceeded quickly, didn't it?
It's a sad sight, Sparks. Another noble warrior falls victim to the plague of love. Just look away. Well,
You say as
I
you
guess
continue
we'll
to
have to find
stare.
the rest of the eggs by ourselves.
Come on, Spyro. Take a little break. Let's watch the show.
And there you go. There's credits. So let's take stock of what all we got from completing Spyro 3. There's a lot, so you're gonna have to give me a second. Okay, that's all the stuff Crystal Project sent and Kirby sent. Let's see. Starting from our own items, there was a lot of eggs. A lot of stage completions. We don't need to look at all of those. Let's see. Groog Hills for Bomberman. Death Temple for Bomberman. A 1-up for Bomberman. That's it. That's all Bomberman got. Now for Crystal Project, Rogue and Beastmaster. So we got 2 more jobs to play with in Crystal Project. Lots of items, including a clamshell. Lots of materials. Rampart Key. Crag Demon Horn. Elevator Part. Mount Instrument. I think we have swimming now. Lucky Briefs. Two-handed sword. Beating Staff. Progressive Heavy Body. Cutter and Lightning Rod for Kirby. So nothing huge, but a lot of small things. The most important thing being the progressive mount instrument and the rampart key. Because we can now go into the ramparts, and if that is swimming like I think it is, which there is still 1 more progressive mount instrument out in the wild. So it may still be that our swimming is elsewhere. It depends on what the last instrument is. It could really go either way with that one. But we can turn the Crag Demon Horn in to the one that wanted to trade it for a Stone of Jordan and see what the check for that ends up actually being. We have another elevator part, which doesn't matter because we already broke logic and jumped to the Sky Arena. Unless it takes us to another part of the Sky Arena area that I couldn't reach, which is possible. Other than that, it's just mostly things that are nice to have. Cutter for Kirby is very good to have, but that was so late in the spheres that Cutter clearly was not required for much of anything. I'm surprised there wasn't more of anything important left in Spyro 3 with the fact we had a whole world basically left to go. But 2 jobs, pretty important. The key items were nice, and 2 stages for Bomberman is pretty good. Which one of those 2 stages was in Fireworks Factory, but it was behind the Agent 9 stuff. So technically I had to come here to the final world to get the check anyway. That leaves us with 3 out of the 5 games left to beat, though, and it doesn't look like that set us up to cascade like I had hoped. But the good news about what did happen is it may have broken Crystal Project wide open, having given us our 4th mount instrument. Or is it the 3rd? I think it's the 3rd, and then the one that's stuck in the castle is the 4th one, which I would assume is the last one. I genuinely only thought there was going to be 1 more. And then, surprise, there's the one here in Spyro we found. Now I need to make a decision. Do I count this as having been completed? I think, since it is playing credits, I will count it, but we will probably revisit the reignited version of this in the future, because I had previously started the process of doing all the reignited Spyros, and then I didn't do 3, because we kind of got sidetracked. But this will be the first game beaten for June. Which, reminder, we literally only beat Dark Souls 2 in May. We didn't end up beating anything else. Which is kind of tragic. That's how kind of, like, jammed with long things, basically, May was. And lots of just things that weren't getting completed. 6, 7, 8. Forgot to put a number next to April, so I was fixing that. So we are at 21 for the year now, assuming these counts previously are all correct. 9, 16, 17, yeah. Okay. It is a little bit of a technicality to count it as having been cleared since it was randomized, but we did get credits, so I'll count it for now and then we fix it later. This does mean it's time for us to switch what we're doing and go back to Crystal Project. His 2 stages is not enough to warrant going back to Bomberman Hero 4. And I'm not going to worry about doing the now playing right now because of the fact that both of them are actually being labeled with their accurate categories. So that all works itself out just fine. There's about to be a bunch of pop-ups happening for the game in a second. We might end up seeing some Bomberman Hero depending on what we end up picking up here today, but that very heavily depends on what we pick up.